Welcome inside the cockpit of our Dornier 328 32-passenger commercial airplane. If you've been following along, you know for the last few weeks we've been showing you lots of the work that we've been doing on the windows of our cockpit. During that time, we also did a lot of work inside the cockpit of the airplane. Today we're going to show you some of the work that we did on the floors. Let's get to work. So we thought we were just going to be vacuuming out the front of the plane today and putting down vinyl over the floor that was there because there's going to be a bed in that area, so the floor doesn't need to really be all that nice. But as we started chipping away like the cracked, kind of already lifted pieces of flooring, we just didn't know where to stop. So it looks like we're going to be taking out that whole top layer of wood and finishing what's underneath it maybe instead of doing vinyl. I love hot weather and being warm, but it gets insanely hot in the cockpit of that airplane with the windows there and the sun beating in the afternoon. This was definitely a warm day of working. Over 10 years ago, when David and I got into renovating things, we loved working on projects together, and oftentimes we would spend our evenings and weekends just working on projects. Things have changed quite a bit over the last 10 years. We now have 3 kids, and so oftentimes we have to take turns working on projects. Often I will wrangle kids while he's working, and vice versa. This has been a big adjustment for us, and we've definitely struggled at times, but I think we do a pretty good job of making it work.
Yeah, these are holes.
Yeah, and I broke through the other one.
Why is that broken?
Yeah, I broke the hole.
Why?
I fell through. I was too big. As my kids pointed out, I did indeed put 2 new holes into the floor of the cockpit. These holes were there originally, however they had been filled. When I was chipping away at that top layer of wood though, I accidentally punched whatever was patching those holes back down through the floor of the cockpit. So David went ahead and cut out 2 new circles, put in a piece of wood to screw those circles to, and then added those patches of wood back in. Even though this whole area will be covered by a giant mattress, we hope, we wanted to make sure that there was a good seal and the floor was completely finished so that no unwanted guests or smells or anything like that would come up through the floor of the cockpit. After we finished chipping away that top layer of thin wood and we were able to clean everything up, we decided that this actually was a pretty decent looking wood floor. So instead of buying something like vinyl to cover it, we were indeed going to try to sand it and then put several layers of polyurethane on it so that we could just leave it a natural wood looking floor. Thankfully, the airplane windows were removed at this point. We needed lots of good ventilation for this project. David actually took a belt sander first. He got the main areas with that, and then he took a hand sander or a little mouse sander and got all the corners and edges with that. after David finished sanding, it was time for one final round of vacuuming and cleanup. At this point, it was time to finish the windows before we went ahead and polyurethaned and finished the floors to make sure that the weather would stay outside. If you haven't seen those videos, I'm going to throw it up here. Go back and check those out. Unfortunately, in the process of doing the windows, we had a minor setback. We'll be sure to show you that in next week's video.